Thank you for being part of this live event today. I'll be telling you about the next generation structures range, and we'll be looking at what this offers with 21 different experiments. So James, thank you for verifying. If everybody can hear me okay, if you have any technical problems, do let me know and I'll look to address those immediately. If you're watching, I see we've got quite a few people watching right now around the world. Do let us know in the chat box where you're from. That would be fantastic. Okay, so let's get this underway. The next generation structures range from TecQuipment is a compact, robust, modular platform solution for understanding structures. And that might be used in aeronautical, civil, motorsport, many different areas of engineering. So let's have a look at this in a little bit more closely. It builds on the tried and tested modular technology that TecQuipment's used for over 20 years, but has taken it to the next level. It's kind of breathed a new lease of life into what we're offering and makes it a whole lot more modern, easy to use. We've got a new solid and accessible base. We've got two additional experiments in there, and we've got enhanced data capture, not only on the hardware side of things, but on the software itself. So a few people I could see we've got Jonathan from Australia here. We've got Amit from New Delhi. James also is from Lagos in Nigeria. We've got Jeff Hall from Gotham City again. It's great to see you all there. So what I want to do now is going to show you a video now. This is the overview video of the next generation structures range. You can actually see it being used. We've got about 5 different experiments being demonstrated during this video. So I'll take over from my pre-recorded segment for you to have a watch of this. This will also be available to watch separately on YouTube later date. Well, I'm going to pause it there because I gathered that you've had no sound. I do apologise for that. And thank you, Jeff in Gotham City, for letting me know that. We're going to skip back there because that was some really important details covered in that introduction. So here we go. Let's go again. Oh, right. Okay, you've got sound issues. I really appreciate the technical challenges that come with live streaming. What we're going to do is I'm actually going to do a voiceover of myself doing the voiceover here. What I'm explaining here, as you can see in front of us, it's based on a structures platform. It's a low-level based platform, and it's got 4 different elements. It's got 2 steel end panels, and it's got aluminium struts that run across the middle where the experiments sit upon them. So these experiments can all be purchased separately, and there are 21 experiments in total. As well as this, these are really easy to swap and change over. And that's the beauty, I would say, of this range, the next generation range versus the previous structures range from TecQuipment. It's so easy to switch and change them over. Now you can see right here on the screen, there's all of those different experiments available on there, whether you're looking at shear force of a beam, bending moments, redundant strussers, suspended beams. We've got torsion experiments in there, deflection of beams in there as well, an extensive range, which you can all see on our website. Now, over the course of this video, I'm going to probably keep it short and sweet because this video can be viewed in full right after the live streaming. And I'm going to put a link into that in a moment in the chat box for you to have a look at so that you can pause it and analyze things at your own pace. It's also, we'll have a close-up in a second. I'm hoping I know this video that well. We'll look closely at the bar itself because it's got some tape on there, so you can actually set up your experiments precisely using those measurements. What's so great about this piece of apparatus is what we just glanced at there was the USB interface hub. And this hub is, instead of a separate data acquisition hardware unit, it's actually a hub that's included in the platform itself. And it takes all the data inputs from the experiment, puts it into that hub, and then connects directly into the computer there. And that's your own suitably compliant laptop or PC. And then what's particularly great about this is it doesn't use separate structure software, it uses VDAS. So it actually uses the VDAS software that is free to download. So you're no longer having to buy separate software. I'm sorry, just a bit of an apology. The voiceover is not synced. I'm literally talking over the video here live. Okay, now the software is free to download from TecQuipment.com. You go to the downloads area, and the nice thing about it is you don't have to pay for that. But it also means that you've got an unlimited amount of licenses. Previously, we've sold bundles of licenses, which means that if you've got students going into the lab using their own PC, laptop, then they can download it onto their computers. There's no transferring of licenses, etc. In the future, it will also be VDAS eLab compliant as well. So that is something that you can look forward to. And if you don't know much about VDAS eLab, and this is the remote engagement solution for using with VDAS enabled products from TecQuipment, then I do suggest you go and have a look at the live stream we did of that and the videos that we've got that tells you about the software that we've got there, and also the remote view hardware bundle that we have for that as well. So that I stress it, that's not ready immediately, that eLab capability, but it will be coming in the future. But it does mean you have got VDAS integrated, you've got VDAS on board, and there's no extra hardware or software to purchase. So it's a much easier setup on so many different levels. Right, okay, so at this point, I'm going to extract ourselves from the video, which you can watch at a later date yourself, and talk in detail about some of those highlight points. Let's have a look now. So I've mentioned that it was robust and compact, and you saw on that video that it's this low-level platform. I've got a picture of it here. It's got some solid handles on each side, and it really does feel very robust when you're moving it around the lab. That low-level platform means that it's great because it's easy viewing. The previous frame we had frames up the side, and it was not quite as accessible for students, whether they might be watching at different positions in the lab, whether they might even be watching remotely. So this gives a much cleaner look and focus on the experiment itself. That low-level platform also means that it's got a smaller footprint for storage. It's got less height in there. So if you're thinking about a rack system within your storage in your lab, you can put a lot more shelves in there to be able to utilize your space. We've got 21 modular experiment options. So previously we offered 19. We've got another 2 in there. We've got equilibrium of simply supported beam as one of those. Do check out all of those experiments on the TecQuipment.com website. And shortly, I'll show you how to find those. I touched in the video there about the USB interface hub. As you could see on that video, it means that there's also reduced cabling. Now, if anybody used the previous structures range, which was exceptionally popular, they still found there were quite a lot of cables about. Setting up took a little bit of extra time. It was not always that neat on the desk itself. This is really neat and tidy. There's less cables and it goes straight from the platform, the structures platform, with the USB interface hub that's got VDAS on board, straight into your computer. That low-level platform also means that the design is easier to assemble. Okay, so I see we've got some great comments in there, so thank you, Andrew. Great point made. On to the next points now. Software. It is a new and improved software. So rather than having separate software, it's integrated into VDAS. It has got simulation capabilities on there. And as I mentioned, it has VDAS eLab. So there's no purchase required in there. Now we are continually looking at how we can improve this, and we have streamlined this solution even further. So you're probably thinking, how much is this going to be and when can I get hold of it? Well, you need to contact your TecQuipment representative for pricing, and it is competitive. The beauty of this, as I've already said, you buy the platform and you buy the experiments. That's it. There's no extra data acquisition unit you need to buy. There's no extra software you need to buy. So that makes it a whole lot easier for you to understand. So we're starting to quote those from October. We'll be accepting orders from November, and then we'll be shipping out those initial orders from January of next year. So how can you find out more? Let's have a look. I'm going to show you how to find it on our website. We'll skip to the very beginning of this little short clip that I prepared earlier. You go to TecQuipment.com. You click on the ranges and then you'll get to structures, the next generation structures, and then you can navigate through the individual different structures ranges